Welcome. Happy Satsang Sunday. If you're watching this replay on YouTube, I go live on TikTok every Sunday about 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will have our spiritual gathering. So I'm going to start with a song while we're waiting for people to come in to the stream. And we were having some technical difficulties, so we're still trying to make sure that those things are working. Good. Yay! Awesome. I am a happy camper with that.
All right, sweet.
That's wonderful.
I will be back in just a moment, but I'll be quiet.
That's fine. All right. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on when it is that you're watching this, I guess. So, I don't have a song picked for today, as per usual. So we're going to let Spirit sort of choose the song for us. And I'm going to go to the Synergy playlist, which you can find in the link in the bio. And we're going to see which song Spirit wants us to hear today. Something that would be important for the week ahead, or just our journey in general. We're also going to be doing some Hallelujah again. This is the second week in a row. I instantly feel like I want to shovel this song out, but I feel like that's like maybe there's some significance to this song that needs to be acknowledged. If only time flew like a dove. So interesting. Welcome, welcome. Well, if you guys feel some type of significance with this song, Hallelujah by Paramore, let me know in the comments what you think this could mean, because this is the second week in a row that we're getting this song. I'm going to also play whatever the next song is. But it's so interesting that Spirit's doing this again. I don't know. So welcome, welcome everybody. How is your week? How has your week been? I hope everybody's been having a good week. We got our technical difficulties fixed, it seems. Welcome, welcome. Happy Satsang Sunday. Happy Satsang Sunday, everybody. Hello, Amber. How are you doing today, dear? I haven't been on much this week because we've been doing a new schedule here at the house. And a lot of my live sessions are going to be at a very different time than what people are used to. Change is good, though. It's interesting because I remember last week's message was about movement, and that some people would be literally moving, figuratively moving. I feel like mine was like a little bit of both. I think a lot of my schedule changed drastically, and like mentally and emotionally, I think there was a lot of change as well. So I'm interested to see how you guys fared last week with the message of movement, of change. But it was a very positive thing. So any of those movements that happened last week that might feel a little bit unnerving to you will probably be something that turns out to be much better than you thought. All right, so we're going to see what the next Everything You Want by Vertical Horizon. Manifestation? Hello, Tony. How you doing today? It's good to see you, my dear. Yay! When it's rising at the back of your mind. Maybe this is a little bit about feeling jaded by certain manifestations that we experience. I think a lot of people, me included, will be manifesting things. It shows up in your life, and then immediately you're like, okay, where's the next thing? You're not allowing yourself to really like ruminate and be present with the thing that you wanted so badly, like literally just yesterday. And now you're like, okay, what's the next thing? I feel like that's what this song is kind of pointing to from Spirit, is sort of like, are you truly feeling grateful for the things you're bringing into your life? Are you acknowledging them? Are you letting yourself really experience the satisfaction and the joy of receiving whatever it is that you wanted to receive?
Don't worry about time. You just do your thing.
It's fine. I won't be too long today, I think.
Find not to worry about.
I know.
Let it flow.
All right. Thank you. At exactly the right time. I guess I could take this out of there. I'll just hang that there. There we go. Okay. Stick that there. That was part of my message with my card pull. I got the octopus. Interesting. Yeah, I think we live in such a fast-paced society that we're just like trying to like hurry up and make something happen or create something or be something or do something like every second of every day, that we're not letting ourselves be present with joy, with satisfaction, with the creation of whatever it is that we made. It's sort of like, oh yay, this is great, okay, what's next? And it's not even like really talking about the big manifestations. It's talking about the little things too. Like if there's, for instance, a game that you're playing and you've been trying to beat a level forever, as soon as you beat that level, you're feeling like, okay, got to go to the next one. Let yourself celebrate a little bit. Let yourself like revel in that, like, I did it kind of thing. Yeah, this song really makes me feel like Spirit is pointing to like a relative amount of dissatisfaction with our society and within ourselves that we really do need to recognize. Well, so that was Hallelujah by Paramore first, and then Everything You Want by Vertical Horizon second. Just as always, Spirit picked songs that I would not have thought to pick, which is interesting, I guess. It was. I did mention that. So I think that there is something important about that being the song. The first song, anyway. So we're going to put the synthwave on now. Okay. So I don't know if you guys are picking up the sound from that. You may not be, but that's okay. All right. So the first thing that I would really like to do after that is we can do a healing, raising of the vibration, and a quick healing that I would really like to do here. If you want to join, you can, as always. So we're going to do a nice deep breath in, and every in breath that we do, we're raising our vibration one notch, one level, whatever you may categorize that as. I think it's different for everybody what they think it is. I've been having this like really weird brain fog all week, and it's been like really bad this weekend. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that too, but for me it's pretty intense. So there might be little pauses during today's satsang where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me remember. We're going to hope that Spirit really does guide me today so that we don't have too many of those weird pauses. All right. So feel free to join me. Nice deep breath in, raising our vibration. And breathing out anything that is not serving us to make us lighter, to make it easier for us to raise our vibration. Nice deep breath in, raising our vibration again. And breathe out the ickiness. I'm going to do this 2 more times today. Nice deep breath in, raising our vibration. Woo. Breathing out everything that no longer serves. Okay. One last time, and after this I'm going to do some Reiki. Nice deep breath in, raising our vibration 1 more time. Hold it. And breathe out. Well, I feel a little bit lighter. I don't know if you guys do, but I definitely do. Okay, so this Reiki that I'm going to be doing for you guys is for anybody who needs healing. Mind, body, spirit, whatever. I do Reiki typically a little bit differently than most. Hello, Christina. Hello, Steph. Happy satsang. Oh, you can't hear me? Are you guys all having trouble hearing? Okay, I'll try to be clearer more in the microphone. Maybe that might help. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good. Fantastic. Might be something with her stream. Possibly. Who knows? Hello, someone. How are you doing today, dear? All right. So if you are in need of some Reiki healing, that is what we're going to be doing right now. Just really quick, sending it right through the crown chakra. Down through the third eye for understanding of information. I think a lot of people, I can feel this, yeah, in the third eye is really a problem for a lot of people, I can feel. So we're going to hang out here for just a second, hopefully clearing out some of the things that are making it difficult for understanding to happen, promoting clarity. Okay, down through the throat. Another one. This one is also feeling like a bit of an issue, so we're going to clear some of the things that are making it difficult to speak your truth. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Down into the heart chakra. This one feels like it's growing. Yay. Happy, happy. Down into the solar plexus. This one feels pretty strong too. So we're gaining heart and power within ourselves. This is really good. Good news, good news. Down into the sacral. Does feel like there's a little bit here that needs a little extra assistance, some emotional turmoil here. And down into the root. Sort of feeling this urge to really like zap the root. I think a lot of people are feeling ungrounded and out of body dissociations maybe. So sort of like there's this feeling that like we need some extra energy, some extra power right to the root chakra. And I'm actually going to anchor this for everybody down into the earth. Mother Earth is helping. I can feel her reaching up, helping to anchor us. I'm going to send all that energy back up through the crown, back up through the crown. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Wonderful. Okay, so some lovely healings for anybody that needs it today. And we're going to go ahead and call in some of the angels. And we're going to do Michael and Gabriel, but I don't know if anybody else will want to show up. We shall see. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to call in Archangel Michael like we usually do. So feel free to join in with me if you'd like. We're going to go ahead and take a deep breath in. Wonderful, Christina. I'm glad that that was something that was helpful for you. Hello, Emma. How you doing, dear? Oh, Karina, thank you so much for the donation, dear. I appreciate that. Hello. Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Steph. All right, so we're going to go ahead and call in Michael. So if you guys want to take a nice deep breath in, we're going to say, Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. We're going to breathe out all the air out of our lungs. And when you breathe in again, you're going to be breathing in the essence of that angel, deity, spirit guide, whoever it is that you are calling in. So feel free to do that. Nice deep breath in. Archangel Michael, I call upon you now. Breathe in his essence. Whoa. Oh my goodness. I felt him drop in like with a crash, almost like I think he's showing off a little bit. Did one of those like superhero drops down really fast. So it feels like there's this emphasis on needing protection, or this feeling that we need to be protected is what he's giving me. He wants to remind us all that we are always protected, that we're always being taken care of, that no harm can come to us unless we make a choice to involve ourselves in harm. But even then, what he's saying is even then, it can only go so far. If it's not your time to exit, that can't happen. If it's not a possibility, if it's not on the path for you at this time, that wouldn't be able to happen. And certain experiences are not for us to experience either. So a lot of times, when people find themselves in weird accidents where they're looking at that like, dang, I should have been taken out, and they don't, it's because there was an intervention. When something, excuse me, you're in a situation with a friend and you feel to yourself, or something happens where you're not able to go with your friend to a place that they wanted to go, and then your friend ends up going, and something unpleasant happens. Now you understand why you were delayed. Now you understand why you couldn't go, right? So certain things happen to us. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. Certain things happen to us that feel like a punishment, right? So, like, let's say you're stuck in traffic, or an emergency happens with one of your family members, or you took a nap and your alarm never went off, right? Like, weird little things like that happen to delay you, to keep you from experiencing something you're not meant to be experiencing. And this is something that he wants to give to us so that we can trust that, so that we can have faith that whatever I do experience is for my highest good. It could be like, hey, don't do that again. Or, if you are stuck in traffic or you're frustrated because somebody's making you late, maybe there's a reason for that, you know? Um, this isn't always the case, obviously, but I think it happens a lot more often from what Michael is telling me here. It happens a lot more often than we even realize or recognize. A lot of times we're being delayed and we don't even care. So those aren't going to be times that are um, recognizable to you. So he's wanting to help us understand that we're always protected, we're always taken care of. So ultimately, be mindful of what you're choosing. A lot of times we make choices in our lives that we're not aware of. We're not um, uh, thinking clearly about. Sorry, I tried. And those choices put us into a position that maybe we didn't want to experience. We're in a position that's really uncomfortable, that we never intended to be in, because we made a choice yesterday that we didn't really think about. So be mindful of what you're choosing. Be mindful of there's also this feeling from Michael that it may feel like you don't have a choice, but that's always a fallacy. We are here in this very dense experience that is confusing for that purpose. We have ultimate choice, and that doesn't exist everywhere in the universe. The ultimate choice, the choice to do exactly what you want, whenever you want, for whatever reason, even born out of confusion. So it's important for us to really pay attention to not only the choices that you're making without thinking, but pay attention to choices that you think are out of your control when they're really not. Maybe it's something in society that's making you feel like you can't make a choice, or maybe something in your family structure that's making you feel like you can't make a choice. Could be a whole host of things. So I think Michael is wanting us to have awareness of this, because I think sometimes people are afraid of making a choice because they don't feel protected or taken care of. And what he's saying here is, if we are making choices consciously and faithfully, is that the word that you want? Yeah. Trust that we're taken care of, not making choices out of fear, not making choices out of fear of confusion or fear of consequences, right? A lot of the consequences that we think are being put onto us are really just a belief system or a societal norm that the universe doesn't even really care about either way. Like, do whatever you want. Yeah, and I feel like we're breaking a lot of those things now. The feeling, this mindset that we don't have control over our choices just isn't correct. So I think that was really important for Michael to give to us today. And I think he came in with such power to kind of make a point of like, every second, in a second, you ask for me, I'm right there. And with power and with strength. So, yeah, no fear. There's no need for it. Thank you guys so much for sharing the live. I appreciate that. We're going to call in Gabriel next. Let's see what our dear friend has for us. So we're going to do it the same way we did Michael. Nice deep breath in. Archangel Gabriel, I call upon you now. Breathe in his essence. Ooh, got a little dizzy with him. Actually, he's kind of hitting me hard in the head. I think it, okay, thank you. He is going right for the third eye today. It's so weird. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling it between my temples. Like, kind of like a volley of energy going back and forth. Sort of feels like a cleansing or a... Okay, it's a few things. It's a cleansing. It's an amplification. And a repair. A healing and attunement at the same time. Thank you, Gabriel. So it's really important for us right now, especially, to have clarity in our understanding of ourselves and our path and what is truly important for us to move forward. Definitely feels like a cycle. Interesting stuff. Yeah. So it's interesting that you asked that. Sind the space pig. Which I actually don't think you're in here any longer. Well, if you come back in, maybe I will address that. But anyway, so what Gabriel is doing here is helping us have clarity, like true clarity, honest clarity about what really is going on with ourselves, with society, with the world at large. And there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of panic, confusion in the collective, especially now. And it will continue for the foreseeable future, unfortunately. So this is a time period where our guides are really encouraging us to focus in on ourselves, on our individual path, what's happening to you, with you right now. What choices can you make in your life right now that will help you feel more powerful, more in control of your life? We kind of do this thing where we give control over to the hive mind, whether it's our own country, whether it's the global experience, or even just your own community. And we tend to not rely on our own understanding, our own divinity, our own passions, path, truth, even from the things that I'm saying. I'm sure that everybody listening to this or watching this will disagree with me on at least one thing, if not more. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing. And you need that. It's really important for us to have our own discernment. And I do believe that Gabriel today is giving us a healing and attunement to help us do that better. There's so much influence with social media, virality, propaganda. There's no way to know what the truth is. And that's why it's important for you to really focus on what is important to you. The things that are going viral, the things that are being talked about in the news, the things that are going on in the world. If they are creating fear, is that in your best interest? Or would it be in your best interest to really concentrate on your own path, your own journey first, strengthen yourself within your sense of self, and then re-engage with the community, the collective? Jazzy, yes. Just to answer your question really quick, spirits do many times when they pass over, not many times, I would say my experience all the time, when spirits pass over, they don't have suffering. They don't have suffering. They don't have that same sense of anger or guilt that they had here. They do keep their personality though, because that is something that's true to them. But it's sort of like if you could live your personality without fear, without judgment, without guilt. And that's kind of what spirits are like. It's quite refreshing, and it feels freeing. So that's been my experience anyway. I don't know what other people will think, but yeah. Hello, Kathy. How are you doing, dear? I understand that a lot of people are afraid of the unknown. It's normal. It's part of our existence. We're here. We're here right now in a capacity where we are meant to be ignorant of what the universe is, what the source is, what our personal path is, with conscious awareness. I mean, there is a knowing, there is instruction from your higher self, but we have the option, the choice to block ourselves from that. And a lot of people do. And so, what I hope to do with these weekly gatherings and maybe some of the videos that I'm making is to help people regain that sense of awareness, that sense of self, that sense of truth within their own self, and to stop blocking their instruction or their guidance from their higher self unknowingly. We do it unknowingly. It's not your fault. You know, that's just how it works. So it's better for us to remember. Yeah. You're welcome, dear. I'm going to see if anybody else wants to join Angel Wise before I go into the tarot reading for the week. I'm really interested to see what we're going to experience this coming week, especially after last week and what that turned out to be. Well, for me personally anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't heard from this angel in a long time. So Archangel Raziel wants to come in. I don't really know what he's gonna do. Surprise. He's very interesting and colorful angel, so I view him a little bit differently than I view the rest, I think. Yeah. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Right? Okay, nice deep breath in. Archangel Raziel, I call upon you now. Breathe in his essence. So what he is doing, I see him like immediately he started throwing colors at people, different colors for different people. So for each individual, the colors that he throws at you are going to be something that's individual to you. So this is an individual healing in a collective way. And what this is sort of doing is his intention is to reignite passion and creativity. He's saying that creation is the antidote to anxiety. So if you are creating something that you are passionate about, that is the ultimate antidote to fear and anxiety. But if you're creating something that's mildly interesting, you're on the way, right? So he's wanting to kind of infuse more of a sense of creativity and passion and excitement for us in our daily life. He's saying everything you do should be colorful. Everything you do should be wonderful and colorful. But of course he's going to say that, I think. Hello, Dee. Yes, early satsang today. I think going forward it's going to be that way too. Hello. Oh, goodness, I forget what your name is here, dear. I want to say Miranda, but I think I would be wrong by saying that. No, it's fine. I just was clicking on to see if I could see something. I like this time too, Dee. It's a little bit nicer. And then hopefully I can get the stream up earlier and everybody can have it on Sunday. So yes, so Raziel is wanting us to reconnect with creativity, reconnect with our, because creativity within ourselves, for ourselves, is our truth. It's part of our truth. We're here to create things. And I think sometimes people put a lot of stipulation on what creation means, what that is. Literally could be anything. Words, art, technology, mechanics, practical things, thought. All kinds of things can be creation, right? Anything could be creation. And the most healing, what he's saying is the most healing creations that we can do are those that we just throw our hands up and say, screw it. I'm going to do whatever I want. And you do something that's outside of the box. You do something that feels like it's coming from within you, even if it's taking elements of things that other people have already done. I think that's also a big problem for a lot of people, is like, I don't want it to be seen that I'm like copying anybody or that I'm trying to steal something from somebody else. But creation, raw creation, belongs to us all. There is no patent on creation in the eyes of the universe, right? And it's always going to be experienced differently, right? Somebody could, like, cover songs is a great example, right? People even covering a song verbatim, it's never going to sound the same. It's always going to be different, even if it's slight. And sometimes that slight difference is a vibrational match to people who weren't able to be a vibrational match to the original, right? The original. Nothing in this world is original. It's all been created before, just there's different variations of it, which makes creation limitless. So I think he's really wanting to liberate our sense of creativity, our sense of creation. So thank you, Archangel Raziel. I love that one. Yes, Kathy. My satsangs are probably going to be sometime between noon and 1 o'clock on Sundays now. Hello, Jerry. How you doing, dear? Oh, Jazzy, thank you, dear. A pie? It was nice to see you again. Maybe I'll see you in the future too. Yay! Well, it was very nice for you to come by, dear. All right, so let's bust out the tarot cards. So I'm using a deck today that our friend Annie from Down Under got for me. That was a terrible attempt at her accent, or an Australian accent, but I tried. So she bought this for me from my wish list, and it is so beautiful. And it's so generous of her to do so. So, are there cards in here that we don't need? Nope. All right, everything's fine. I'm going to push this just for a second. There we go. Hello, Patience. All right. I think that's good. So let's see. Spirit, what can we expect in the week ahead? What can we expect in the week ahead? Oh, hello, Sky Blue. Interesting. Trey, hello, my dear. How are you today? What can we expect in our week ahead, Spirit? Interesting. All right. This could turn out to be a bit of a tough week, I think, for some. Yes. Okay. I'm going to get an oracle card because I feel like we need one. I need some clarification on this reading. Pretty good. Pretty good. I've been doing pretty good, Trey. Thank you for asking, my dear. I'm glad that you're doing pretty well. Okay, so I know the reading, we're gonna go over the cards. I don't want anybody to panic because difficulty doesn't always mean horrible. It could just be a challenge. I'm not going to try to speculate too much yet. Thank you guys so much for sharing the live and liking the live. I really appreciate that. It helps this to go out to more people. Come on, Spirit. Do we not have one? Do we have one or no? Can I have one? We'd really like to have an oracle card. I really would. I really would love to have one. Hey. Okay, I think this is a bit of a okay. Well, we're gonna take it how we take it, I guess. So that one, I'm gonna read that one last. So the first card that we have here is the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles means basically means lack, a feeling of lack, an experience of lack. It could be financial, but pentacles always represent something in the physical world. So when we experience lack with the Five of Pentacles specifically, it's not going to be necessarily a mental lack, although that could be helping us to feel lack in the present. I have a feeling that this card this week is going to be more representative of us confronting lack in some way, shape, or form. That Spirit is going to be presenting us with either lack of finances, lack of time, lack of energy, uh, maybe lack of emotions. And we're going to be feeling that strain. We're going to be feeling that sort of perceived perception of lack, right? It's a challenge. This week is going to be a bit of a challenge, not going to lie. And second card here that we have here is the Hermit. So the Hermit is giving us a chance to go within and decide, right? Decisions are important, like Michael was talking about. Decide for ourselves what that feeling truly means. Is that real? Because lack is not true of the universe. The universe is always abundant and always offering abundance to us. So when we don't experience abundance and we experience lack instead, it's a choice that we're making. And that choice that we're making to experience lack is always going to be based on a perception of your circumstances, a perception of your reality. And so the Hermit card is really encouraging us when we feel the strain of the Five of Pentacles that we are going to go within and choose to be finished. With the Ten of Swords, this is the ending of betrayal. This is the ending of suffering. This is the ending of the fight. It's over. And it's our choice to sit and wallow in what has happened, what has occurred, or choose to move on, choose to pick ourselves back up and re-engage. I think for some of us, this week isn't going to be as difficult because I think a lot of us have already been making this choice, that have already been wanting to relinquish the perception of lack. I know I have in my life, and I know a lot of you guys have too. It's time to be done, right? And with the Ten of Swords, Spirit is saying that it is up to us. It's up to us, entirely up to us, for it to be over, for it to be done. And so I think this week is going to help us to see all the ways in which we are keeping ourselves from truly being receptive to the universe's abundance, to having that experience in our lives. Woo, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I already have been feeling the squeeze. I don't know if you guys have been feeling the squeeze, but I've been feeling the squeeze personally already. So I'm happy for this Ten of Swords. Thank you, Spirit. So then we have this card here, the Hierophant. Right. And this is indicative that this is for sure part of our spiritual journey. This is part of our path, right? So if you're in a spiritual awakening, if you're having a spiritual awakening, then this week is going to really be that sort of push from Spirit to choose to really be aware of what you're choosing, be aware of what you're being influenced by. I think that was part of last week's message too. It's so interesting how a lot of last week's messages and guidance is kind of bleeding into this week, but in a very different way. Maybe this bit of collective experience is a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger than maybe we had anticipated, or at least I had anticipated last week. Emma, thank you, dear. These cards are really beautiful. The white Newman, they're really pretty. So spirit is for sure indicating that this is a spiritual part of a spiritual awakening, part of an awakening of sorts, but part of your understanding of your divinity, right? Are you going to choose to be finished with believing in your circumstances, believing in the reality, the physical reality of this world, or are you going to choose to believe that you are a spiritual being, a divine, perfect being that has the power to create anything that they want? And then last, but certainly not least, we have the Tower. And so the Tower is radical transformation. A lot of people don't like this. I mean, I think my initial reaction to these cards was like, ooh, uh-oh. We have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Swords, we have the Tower, but we also have the Hermit and the Hierophant. And the Hermit and the Hierophant together really make me feel like whatever unpleasant or uncomfortable situation that might possibly happen this week is directly related to a strengthening of your personal power, a strengthening of your understanding of yourself, and an ability, strengthening an ability to choose better for yourself, for you. Really not taking into account other people as much as you normally would or might be inclined to do. And a lot of times those really uncomfortable moments in our lives, when we look back at them, we usually have this sort of hindsight that that experience was very important for me, because if I hadn't done that, then I wouldn't be this. Or if I hadn't experienced that, then I wouldn't have this, right? So it's only as uncomfortable as you make it. When we resist change, and the Tower is radical transformation, there's going to be a huge transformation happening this week. If we're resisting of that change, if we're resisting of that transformation, that's what makes it harder. That's what makes it painful. That's what makes it confusing. But if we see that change is here and we say, I'm going to go with it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to surrender and accept to the best of my ability, you're going to have an easier time. Is it going to be smooth sailing? Probably not. But you're guaranteed to have a much better time than if you were flat out resisting. So yes, trust yourself. Absolutely. So here we have the Oracle card, which made me chuckle. It made me laugh a little bit because I think this is really important. And it's so interesting that when we get the cards, when I get cards, my first impression a lot of times is like, oh no. Or I usually perceive it in one way. First reaction, right? First emotional reaction. But then when I look deeper, when I analyze, when I really think about it, my perception tends to change. You know, I'm now allowing spirit to come in and to help me understand what the message is, or what this uh potentially unpleasant looking spread really means. You know, it's not always necessarily doom and gloom. It could be something more powerful than that. Anyway, so the oracle card that we have here is Herbal Allies. So I thought to myself, maybe spirit is saying, if you're having a hard time, let yourself have an elevated time. But I think another yes, D, I think another aspect of that could also be grounding, connecting with trees, connecting with nature. There's many ways to do that, and there's a really fun way to do that, which D is already partaking. And so I think really that's where personal guidance comes in, right? So my initial thought to this was like, Spirit's like, guys, it's going to be a tough week. So enjoy yourself, right? That's one way to take this. The other way to take this is, guys, this might be a little rough and it's important for you to be grounded, right? I think both of those things would be grounding depending on the person. But ultimately, grounding is really important for this coming week. Really try to get yourself outside if you can. Put your feet in the grass, hold on to a tree. I especially recommend the tree because there's going to be the energy exchange more intensely. And you can ask the tree to help you do that. I've had experiences where I go and I just put my hands on one or lean up against it, whatever it may be. You could sit at the bottom of one if you want. And they're going to sort of absorb the lower vibrating energies in you, fear-based thought processes, and just energy that might be in your body from those thought processes, and infuse you with higher vibrating energies. They are in the earth, lower vibrating. So it's their pleasure many times to do this. They like having those lower vibrating energies. They like releasing the higher vibrating energies, just like oxygen and carbon dioxide. So highly recommend to do that, especially if you're feeling out of sorts this week. Hold on. I just wanted to see what the bottom card was for my own curiosities. Oh my God. You got, okay, Spirit's funny. You guys want to see what the bottom card is? Mycelium mushrooms. I think that's a pretty good indicator of what the advice is from Spirit with this anyway. Take care of yourself in all ways. Natural medications if need be. You know, it's on the planet for a reason. And I have channeled some of those things, and they do like to do that. As long as there is reverence and respect for it, and you're doing it, especially if you're doing it with intention. It's always better to do it with intention. It's better to do everything with intention. Eating, drinking, actions, whatever. All right. So, what an interesting reading for the week ahead. Might be kind of crazy. Might be a kind of a crazy experience, but ultimately I think it's going to bring us closer to our reality, right? Like our experience as a human being, grounding that with our true divinity, right? We're supposed to be both simultaneously. That's why we're here. And that's the confusing part, because those two things feel contradictory. They don't have to be. So, yes, D. Spirit is very interesting today, I think. Anyway, all right. So, let's see who wants to come in for a channeled message today. It's interesting. As soon as I am like thinking about, okay, thank you. As soon as I'm thinking about calling in whoever it is, I'm like, a wave of fatigue hit me. And I'm not quite sure what that's about. I mean, I've been feeling this all week. Could just be part of the change, part of the transition, collectively, individually, all that. So when I said I'm not sure who wants to come in today, I felt Mary Magdalene right away. And I always love to channel her. I always love it when she comes in. She's very soft and motherly and very nurturing, but very powerful. So we're going to see what she has to say for us today, what advice she has to give to us. And if you guys want to call her in, feel free to do that with me. Nice deep breath in. Mary Magdalene, I call upon you now. Breathe in her energy. Ooh, oh, that's so interesting. I actually felt that. So I felt her kind of like swoosh in. She didn't go very, very fast. Like she didn't like race in, but she wasn't like super slow either. She sort of just glided in and then immediately wrapped her arms around my arms and shoulders. Sort of gave me this really like friendly, loving hug, which was really wonderful. So, yeah. I channeled her for the first time ever a week ago, so it's interesting she's coming in now. That's awesome. Yeah, I love her energy. She's one of my favorites. I mean, I say that about almost everybody, but I really do love her. She is a teacher. She is a channel. And that's probably why I love her so much, because I feel connected to her in those ways. Was that Angela? Mary Magdalene was on my mind all night yesterday. That's crazy. So you guys are here for a reason today. That's lovely. I love that. So that makes me feel like whatever it is that's going to come through today has significance and importance for many people. So we're going to see what she has to say. Angela, welcome. I'm happy to see you here. So I do this satsang every week on Sunday. It's probably going to be 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, depending on the day. But hopefully more regularly at 12. And if for some reason you, if you miss part of this live session or all of this live session, I always upload these on YouTube. So feel free, when you have to leave or if we're done, to go over to the link in my bio. You will find my YouTube there. Same username as here, carolyn.eternal.soul. And I post them every week, so you can watch all the other ones too, if you want to. And I usually announce on the thumbnail who it is that I've channeled. So here we go. We're gonna channel Mary first, maybe only. We'll see. I'm just going to pause the music for right now. Ooh. So interesting. She's coming in differently than everybody else does, even more differently than she usually does. I see that there is much confusion everywhere you look. Confusion, confusion, confusion. And confusion occurs when there is a lack of understanding and knowing. Understanding and knowing is always available to you. What your path is, what the next move is. But all of these pieces of understanding are always based on your choices. And if you are not choosing out of fear, you are expounding upon your confusion. You are making it worse. There will be enlightenment, but you must choose A or B, or maybe your choices are A to Z. And that's when it's harder. You must be discerning. And the way for you to be the most discerning is by being honest with yourself. No one else knows who you are. No one else knows what you are. They may have ideas, they may have speculation and opinions, but the only person that knows the facts of you is you. And if you are making your decisions or lack of decision making based on the opinions, the ideas, perceptions, speculation of others, whether it's a person, a place, an entity, a collective, you are choosing from a place of falsehoods. Some of you may use the word lie, but I think it's a little harsh. Misdirection, misunderstandings might be a little bit more fitting. So if you really want to have clarity, if you really want to be free of fear of the unknown, find out. Ask yourself questions that you're afraid to ask, because the fear of asking is always coming from the potential consequence of the answer. And if you're afraid to ask yourself something, my dear, you already know the answer. You would not be afraid to ask yourself if you didn't know, or you didn't have an idea of what the answer would be. You're afraid to ask the things that you already know are going to be unpleasant. But they're only unpleasant because you are experiencing them in the context of another's eyes. And it's time to take back that power. That power belongs to you and no one else. the perspective of your own eyes, the perspective of your own heart. My dears, no one is living this life but you. You are the one that is solely responsible for how your life goes. And I know that that's a difficult truth, because it would be so much easier if the choices you made could make everyone happy. But when you make choices that make other people unhappy, all you are doing is calling attention to the fact that they are making their choices through falsehood. And they don't like it. They don't like that you are inadvertently showing them their own truth. They want you to believe the lie too. They want you to agree because they won't agree with themselves. And you see how this loop happens. It's not about the choice itself, you see. It's not that you are not trying to make choices. You want to. Inherently, you want to make choices. You want your life to be happy and full of satisfaction and joy. And you know that you know how to do that. But the perception of consequence is so skewed, and it's so high on your scale of importance. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be ostracized or ridiculed. You don't want to make other people upset. That is very uncomfortable at best. Most of you have a very large heart, and you want others to be happy. But I want you to understand and to realize that the best thing for you to do is to agitate others for their happiness. Placating them and appealing to their emotions is not going to give them what they need. You are not doing them a service that you think that you're doing. You're protecting your own self from consequence. Maybe this person no longer wants to speak to you because you're agitating them so. It would always be that way. And this person doesn't really want you to be who you truly are. They want you to be what they think you are. And when you behave in ways that is not how they think you are, they become upset. Because they themselves are behaving in ways that they think others want them to be as well. But if everyone could simply face the truth of who you are in reality, everyone would be much happier. There would be far less confusion, much more harmony. And there is a level of a pendulum swing happening here. Sometimes to understand your capabilities to create, you must know where your limits are. You must know where the end of the pendulum can swing. And at this time, your society is in a little bit of a extreme experience. But just know that that is temporary, and the pendulum will swing back the other way. And once you understand the parameters of the possibilities at this time, you will know how to move forward. You will know what your true power is, individually and collectively. And so when there is great confusion in the collective, it is always much, much more advantageous for you to concentrate in on your individual experience. Try very hard not to worry too much about what is happening in the larger collective, in a smaller collective, or in any collective. Focus more on your individual experience, what you believe for yourself about yourself in this moment, and make your choices based on that. You may have empathy for others, but only to the degree that it doesn't affect you. Be protective of your experience For your experience is the only thing you have on this earth. You are here to create beautiful things for yourself. It is not selfish. It is not self-centered. It's interesting to see that your idea of what selfish is an inversion. For selfishness is trying to get another to believe in the lie that you are giving to them about who they are and what they should do. That is what selfishness is. But when you concentrate on yourself and you make choices for yourself, that is self-care. So don't be afraid, my dears. There are much more of you than you know. And soon you will find each other. Soon you will become a collective greater than you have understanding for now. Be patient and be happy, my dears. Please be happy. There is so much needless suffering. You do not need to participate in that. You do not need to agree with it. And if you do, there are ways to release it. Ground yourself, connect with your higher self, take time out for yourself. And today, I connect with you heart to heart to help you understand and tune your heart to know your own truth. It's easier than you think. Wow. Oh, I'm like buzzing from her. She was so great. Oh, that was so beautiful. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. I needed to hear that. I know I didn't. I definitely needed to hear that. Yeah, she came in very different today. And I think this is a little important too, because I think I'm not used to having healings or attunements in the later part of the session. But Mary was, it's like she attached to the back of my head and then sort of like attached down my spine and then sort of melted into me that way. And it felt like something in the nervous system that was healing. And I don't believe that was just for me. I think it was for everyone too. So, woo, yeah, that was really cool. So thank you, Mary. Thank you for that healing. I noticed a lot of the spirit guides coming in lately have been really focusing on healings of the nervous system, really helping with confusion and anxiety. And I think it's like a huge problem for us right now. The feelings of uncertainty are high in many areas of the world. And I do believe her when she says that this is temporary. And I'm happy that she helped to explain some of the reason why things are so confusing right now and why things are so upsetting. I think the collective is getting that level of agitation that she was talking about. And change must happen. Yeah. I felt it in the back of my neck and my heart space. And then right before she left my nerve system. Oh, wow, Emma, that's crazy. Yeah, I think that was, she did something big for us there. That was really magnificent. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mary. That was beautiful. And even the message itself, I really loved that. The way that she kind of explained things so it felt beautiful to me. almost like she was speaking in a ripples or waves, and then connecting everything. Yeah, I like that. Let me see if anybody else is here that wants to come in and share with us. Oh, Angela, thank you for the rose. I didn't see that before. I appreciate that. I felt like a mother energy came in and pushed stuff out in a beautiful way. And now all I feel is light. That's beautiful, Emma. I love that. I love that. That's really wonderful. Yeah, I like, it's weird. Like in my crown, I sort of feel this like mwah, mwah, mwah feeling. And down my neck too. I feel something's happening. So my suggestion for you guys to do, if you were here for this sort of healing from Mary, is drink water today. Stay hydrated. Oh my goodness, the head rush is crazy. Woo. Just gonna give that a second. Feel it in my ears too. It almost feels like it's sort of like something that came down in through my crown and is like slowly going down through the chakras, like honey or like molasses, really slow pouring. Yeah, kind of neat. Love that. All right, let me see if anybody else wants to come through today. Yeah, I felt this before. I don't know how else to explain this, but it feels like there's like a wizard of some kind here that is just showing up and very cartoonish version of a wizard. I wouldn't even say, I think this is even more campy than like Harry Potter would be. I'm trying to see who this is. I don't know. I just keep seeing them that way. Very old man. Hello, Denise. Yes, Denise. It is going to be posted up on YouTube. Yes. Yes, Emma. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. Like Merlin from Sword in the Stone. And I have resistance to saying that it's him, but it might be him. I don't know. Sometimes they do reveal themselves as I'm channeling. Sometimes they don't. So we're just going to go with it. This Merlin type dude wants to come in and give us some messages today. Hi, Linda. Welcome, welcome. If you are enjoying the stream, I do post this on YouTube. So feel free to check out my YouTube afterwards. Hopefully it will be up this evening. If not this evening, then it should be tomorrow that it will be up. And it always posts in the Discord. So Denise, don't worry about looking for it. As soon as it posts, it's going to go right in the Discord under the YouTube uploads. So if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, feel free to do so. We have a study group that's meeting tomorrow about A Course in Miracles. So any level of experience you have with that is perfectly fine to join us. Most of us are 0. We're very new to A Course in Miracles, so all are welcome for that. Okay, so let me see what this dude wants to do. Okay, so right away, he is like waving a wand, and there's this sort of like very sparkly rainbow type light coming from this wand being sprinkled all over everybody. It's really kind of interesting, and it feels magical. It feels like I keep on seeing the Magician card. So a lot of times when I see the Magician card, it's talking about the natural abilities that you already have. Maybe some things that you're not aware of. So this wizard type guy might be trying to help us recognize our latent abilities or our hidden talents. And that is relating directly to creation. Many people, when they're like, oh, I don't know what to create, it's because you're not aware or being honest with yourself about your natural talents. And you're always going to want to do your natural talent. You're always going to want to do the thing that feels natural that you're good at, I would say. So I think he's just kind of trying to point out to us or help us to recognize or notice our personal talents. So I accept that in my highest good. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see what he has to say, if there's anything or if that was all he wanted to do. No. Okay. So he's not very tall. At first I thought he was pretty tall, but he's not very tall. He's very short. Definitely feels like a very different type of being. It's he's not a fairy, but I'm not very familiar with different types of magical type of beings that this could be. I don't know. So if any of you know who this might be, please feel free to tell me in the comments. Could be Merlin. I don't know though, because he's pretty short. Anyway. He's saying that his name has brown in it. Something brown, brown something. I don't know. He's like, it's the best. He's like, it's the best I can do with what we've got between us. Because I literally don't know who this is. So there we go. All right. What message do you have for us today, dear? Oh, urgent. It's a very urgent message. He's saying it's imperative. It's imperative for us to step into our talents, to perform our talents, to embody the things that we are really good at doing in the way that makes us happy, the way that makes us feel joy and satisfaction. This will always transform, he's saying. This will always transform. It will always become something different. It will become more. It will expand. It will grow. Do not let yourself stay stagnant. Do not let yourself become complacent. Let your talent morph into something new. Don't be afraid of the unknown factors that go along with a new thing. You have natural talent. You are already good at this. You will be able to absorb the new expansions. You must believe in yourself. You must have faith and trust in your machine, your body. Your body knows what to do. Let it. Your mind is the thing that's getting in the way. How many times do you hear of somebody having a beautiful voice, and then the minute that somebody asks them to sing, nothing comes out? It's because their head got in the way. Their body knows what to do, and their body's trying to do it. And the mind isn't letting them, for fear of embarrassment or fear of ridicule or fear of anger or fear of agitating that person into their growth. Doesn't matter. It's pointless. The fear in your mind is pointless, and it's holding you back from your satisfaction. It's holding you back from giving. Your natural talent is what you are here to do. In part. It is your contribution. And you're all looking for your contribution, are you not? Many of you have narrowed your talent so much that you don't know what the parameters are. You don't know how far it can go. It's time to step outside of the known and go towards the unknown. Expand, my dears. Now is the perfect time. Now is the time that people need you. And oh, I know what you're saying, that your particular talent is not useful. That is not true. It's not true. You wouldn't have it if it were not true. You wouldn't have it if it wasn't useful. Use it. Use your talent in every way possible. Ask yourself, how else can I use this? How else can I do this? What else can I do with this? The answer will come. Those are good questions to ask. Be curious about yourself. Many of you think, oh, I can't ask too many questions because I'm not supposed to know things. When you ask a question that's about making a decision, you will never get that answer. But when you ask a question about the truth of yourself, you will always get that answer. So if you do not know what your raw talents are, ask. And then the first thing that comes to your mind is the answer of your higher self telling you, or your body telling you. And then in comes the doubt and the mistrust in the information that's coming through. That is the tough part. That's the part that you must fight against. And you can. You can do that. Choose to do that. There is something specific here and general here in many ways, many colors, many avenues for you to do this. But you must be open. Look for the parameters, my dears, and then push against them. Go farther than you think you can. Play with it. Be weird with it. Don't be complacent. Don't be stagnant. That will not bring you joy. Whew. That was short and sweet and to the point. Thank you, sir. That was really lovely. I really loved that, and I think I needed that too. I feel like sometimes we do get too specific with our talents. We get too specific with what we can do. And people in this world, if you really think about it, people in this world that we look up to, idolize even sometimes, are the ones who did find the parameter and pushed against it. They found the wall and they said, no, this is not where the wall is. I'm going to push. I'm going to push. I'm going to push. I'm going to push. And they pushed right into something else. Then combined them, maybe. Made something that nobody else thought of yet. And that's not always the case, you know. We don't always have to do that in the ways that we think it's going to happen. Just let it be what it is. Let your machine, your body, take over. It knows how to do the thing that you want to do. Just let it do it. Let your body do it. You know, stop getting in the way. T, thank you so much for the roses and the friendship necklace. That's cute. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's important for us to get out of our own way. I get in my own way a lot. And it's always based on my own brain. You know, and then sometimes your machine does need to take a break or a rest. That's another aspect of this. When you're pushing against the edges, you have to refuel. So be mindful of the complacency, but also be mindful of the burnout. You know, just because you're doing something that you love doesn't mean that burnout is not possible, because it is. We're human beings. We have to refuel. We have to regain the energies. Sometimes it's a short period, sometimes it's a longer period, right? And you having guilt and shame for that is not going to help at all. So that was a really lovely message. Thank you, little wizard man, whoever you are. I really appreciated that too. Well, I think that that is a good place to end the live today. Sending love from the ocean. T, I love that. I loved hearing you channel over the waves. Oh, that's so beautiful. Ah, I'm soaking it in. I'm accepting the ocean vibes. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to be on next week, most likely at noon Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are awake and available, that's what I'll be doing. And if for some reason you miss the stream, no worries. I always post the replay on YouTube. So feel free to check that out. Also, feel free to check out the Discord. Everybody is welcome there. And I will see you guys next week. Good luck this week. Remember, ground, accept and allow. Be mindful of your choices, and focus on yourself. I have a feeling that something very impactful could be happening in the collective this week or in the coming weeks. And that's why we're getting this message right now, to really focus in on the self. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you're doing, what you want to do, what feels good for you, not what you should be doing, not what seems righteous in other people's eyes, and that you are being true and honest to yourself. Yeah. All right. You're welcome, Linda. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I tried to get in your Discord, unable to. Okay, so Jazzy, if you do you have a Discord profile? Did you sign up for Discord? Because if you haven't signed up for Discord yet, it won't work. Also, in the link, okay, so if you go into the link in the bio, you have to hold down the button, and then you have to open it in the browser. And when you do that, it should take you right there. If for some reason that also doesn't work, you can just look for me. I'm carolyn.eternal.soul, and I can put you in. Or you can look for the Discord server, which is Eternal Soul Awakening, and you can ask to join, or just, I know you have to be invited, I think. I think that's weird. I think you should be able to just go in. Anyway, one of those three things will hopefully work. Don't give up. And if for some reason all of that doesn't work, DM me here on TikTok and I will help you through it. And that goes for everybody, not just Jazzy. If you guys are having trouble getting into the Discord, let me know. If you're watching on YouTube and you can't get in the Discord, try to email me or message me somehow here, and I will help you out. So you are welcome, my dear. All right, my loves. Have a fabulous week. Have a wonderful time this week. Remember, you are powerful, you are protected, you are loved. And I will see you next time. Bye.